Welcome to Sacred Rebels podcast, where we discuss life after trauma as we question societal norms and shatter stigmas. Are you a woman who longs for a sense of community and understanding? Well, stick around. There is a seat for you here. This is your host, Tay.
And co-host Amy.
And we're just two best friend millennial moms and entrepreneurs navigating life and motherhood while on a spiritual healing journey.
We don't do surface level, and we're definitely not your typical moms, so let's dig deep. We plan to cover it all and take you behind the scenes as we share our personal experiences, learn more about the holistic side of healing, and introduce all the incredible humans we've met along the way.
Join us as we share the good, the bad, and the ugly side of healing. We hope to help you step into your power. Thanks so much for listening. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Sacred Rebels. Tonight it'll be me and Aim. Aim's gonna read our card after our big deep breath, and if you hear a little bit of rain in the background, we have quite a beautiful storm going on right now, so just a little background rain.
It's not a bad sound.
It is not a bad sound.
We'll start the same way we always do. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Really expel all that energy out. And then inhale through the nose, lift up, rise up, fill up. Slow exhale, let it go. Hey, so I pulled the card tonight. It's a good one. It says, Seeing the True You, and I don't think we've gotten this one yet. And it is something I actually talk about all the time, and something we've been talking about a lot. Sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. Yet the accuracy of the reflection depends on the clarity of that which is doing the reflecting. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us will, at best, be distorted. It is not necessarily through ill will, it is just that the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. We can learn something of the nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. This oracle has come to you because you have been putting rather too much faith in the reflection others have of you, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you are becoming because you believe too little of yourselves. There may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even help you see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls blessed with inner stillness. In the clear waters of their ocean of consciousness, you can come to recognize yourself with clearer perception. However, there are those who have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to still be enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There is no judgment here. Each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time.
I love that.
So good.
I feel like that's what we just were talking about last night too. Like sometimes we don't see the power in ourselves like that others do.
Yeah, it's that too. And it's that when people don't do healing and they're still stuck in their trauma, you do something and they have a reaction out of their own trauma.
Yep.
Even though it has nothing to do with you, it's their warped perception of what you're saying or how you're acting because they, anybody that judges, like a judgment is something that they either feel they don't have in themselves or can't see in themselves.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's like a fear. And that's what you say. Anybody that judges anybody, it's more of a reflection of you.
Yeah, we're all
because
mirrors.
You're the judge. You're
Yep.
trying to be the judge when it doesn't actually matter what other people think of you. Because it's funny because I had my meeting with Katie today about the app, and we were talking about that there's just so many people out there that are just like judging everyone and they can't take a second to look at themselves in the mirror, that it's so much easier to be like, oh yeah, that person's doing that or that person's doing that. And they stay sick and they just judge instead of understanding.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about understanding and compassion, because it's like, you know, that was like the biggest piece of my healing.
Compassion, definitely compassion. Like, we have to have compassion for ourselves and for others.
Yeah, the biggest piece of my healing has been, you know, taking 2 steps back and seeing the people that caused the harm to us, being like,
Yeah.
okay, I understand they did that, but why did they do that? It's the simple, like, cliche saying of, like, hurt people hurt people. Like, the only reason why, and it's the same thing with me, the only reason why I caused harm or have caused harm in the past was because I was hurting.
Yeah. Same.
You're not like, it's like misery love company, like all these little like sayings, you know what I
Cliche
mean, that
sayings.
it's like, but it's so true.
It's very true.
It's so true.
I feel like same situations like with my kids, right? I'm like thinking about tonight, and I was just like, not like hurt people as far as like kids go, but like frustrated people frustrate people. Like, my kids are frustrated and they're frustrating me, and then I'm just like like, just panic, like, what, like, what is going on? It's same scenario for every type of emotion. I feel like hurt people frustrated people frustrate people, sad people like make people sad. It's like, doesn't have to be just hurt, it has to be, it's like all the emotions, I think.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, because if you can't regulate your own emotions, you project that, and that's what that card is saying. Like, you project your shit on the other person.
Yeah.
Because you can't see yourself clearly, and you can't see in yourself why you're judging this person, when truthfully it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Let them live their lives.
Yeah.
And when you're judging it because you can't see,
We just like have to learn to not take things so personally. I feel like a lot of like, I don't want to speak for like the collective, but this generation, like, everyone just feels so personally attacked all the time. Like, not everything's about you. Like world situations, life situations, just shit. It's like, oh, I'm being attacked. It's like, it's their fault. Like, no, like, it's not personal. Like, whatever is going on isn't personal. I feel like sometimes, especially for me, I'm like, it's not personal, dude. Like, I'm just saying it how it is. But everybody feels attacked.
yeah, it's a warped perception.
Yeah.
It's all about perception.
Yeah.
And I talk about that a lot in breathwork. Like, if you change your perception of how things are happening, where everything's happening for you and not to you,
yeah.
and that simple shift of perception, you could perceive anything however you want. And if you're in a bad fucking mood and somebody, you know, says something to you or does something to you, you're gonna overreact, and you're gonna be like, they fucking did that shit on purpose, and like backlash, and then it's really just your reaction to what the person did, and that person might not have had the intention to hurt you. And then this is the other thing, a lot of people don't like clear, direct communication. So
Bluntness.
instead of, you know, being like, hey, you just said that, and like, you know, it didn't really feel good to me.
Yeah.
And then if you said something like that, the person would probably have a response being like, yeah, I really didn't mean to say it that way. Like, I really didn't mean to hurt you that way.
Or they just don't even know that, like, what they're saying is coming across that way. Like, sometimes I need, like, Dill to check me to be like, can you, like, watch how you say shit to me? And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I guess. Like, because sometimes I can just be real bitchy and not even, like, I just give a direct answer. And he's like, what's with the attitude? I'm like, there's no fucking attitude. I'm answering you. I'm just answering you.
You are sassy, though.
Sassy. I'm like, it's part of my mood, okay? It's the aesthetic.
Well, with that being said and all that, it's so beautiful, and I just love those little, like, God shots and God winks, right? Because, like, as I, you know, put myself out here, and we put ourselves out here for this podcast and everything else we're doing with the app, we're going to talk about the app tonight. I know, and, you know, I have all, you know, all the self-doubt and all the things. I'm like, oh, God, am I going to do this? And, like, what are people going to think? And blah, blah, blah. And I've been doing this, working on this, and really just wanting to, like, create this thing. And, you know, there's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people that are like, oh, you want to do, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's just always going to be that. But the difference for me is I just don't give a fuck, first off.
Yep.
Vulnerability is a superpower.
Yep.
And you can't cancel anybody that's canceled themselves. And I've fucking canceled myself 1,000 times. Like, I don't care. I can't take, you can say whatever you want to me. Like you're not going to offend me because my perception isn't warped. I know who I am, and I know what I have to offer. I know the years of education that I've done. I know the years of trainings that I've taken. I know the hundreds and hundreds of hours that I've studied and practiced my own, and years I spend in 12-step programs sponsoring. I was talking to Katie about it today. I used to have sponsee dinners with 12, 13 people, and I would feed and we would all share and like do like, it's like 12-step and all of this stuff has like trained me. It's like I've trained my whole fucking life for this.
But like at the end of the day, there's always been community. No matter where you've been at in your life, you've built a beautiful community.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people don't have like we're in a little small town here of Manchester, New Hampshire. Like it's not like we're that easily accessible. You know, everybody's unique. I talk about it all the time. Everybody has a unique talent and a unique gift, and we have a dharma and we have a purpose in this world, and we have a gift that we are supposed to share with everybody. And maybe not everybody's going to make that their passion and their purpose and what they make money off of, but there are people that are, and even if you don't do that, you still need to find that gift, whether it's a hobby or something, so you're fulfilling that piece of you. Like, you know, fulfilling your gift and sharing,
filling
because
your cup.
Love thy neighbor. Like, we are supposed to be of service to each other. Like, as human beings, like that, like the barter system, like communities, tribes, like those are the most successful people. Like, I am so successful because I have such a beautiful community. I have beautiful friends with kids and mom
Say
friends.
it all the time.
And, you know, we're just so blessed and grateful.
Yeah.
But we got that opportunity because we were in a 12-step program and we realized how important those connections were. Not everybody has that opportunity to realize how important community actually is.
Yeah.
And not only just community, but community of people that are that want to do the like-minded things. Maybe you're not going to join a spiritual community, but maybe you really like playing cards and you should go join a card community. Or you really like doing art, you should go to an art, and like find people that are doing like-minded things, and people and places that feel like home. When you anybody that walks into this studio walks in and they instantly take a big deep breath and they instantly talk about how comfortable and safe and how they feel when they walk in this space.
How easy it is to be here. Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, because, you know, I've never done an app and I've never had an online community before, and I'm not sure, you know, how to do that same feeling, because I'm, you know, so much of a physical space kind of person and all my touches, but I feel like I can, you know, do my best, because we're going to have all kinds of different...
Yeah, and you're still going to be showing up live, so you get the live interaction.
Well, that's really mainly what it is. It's really just live coaching, and that's, I think, the best. Like, I'm going to do, like, the sound baths will be up there, the breath work, they'll be weekly, and all that stuff will save on there. But the main purpose and what I'm doing is pretty much... I hate calling it coaching. I hate calling it mentoring, because I've always talked about it. I'm an empowerer. Like, I am here. I've done the work. I'm here to hold your hand. I'm here to walk hand in hand with you. I'm just going to share all of the things and all of the tools, because I've learned so many.
Yeah.
And because I'm a seeker. I'm a seeker, and I've always been a seeker.
Yeah, a lot of wisdom. But you've always been like that. You're like an old soul. You've always just had, like, lots of wisdom. And good little nuggets to give.
Yeah.
But again, that's life experience. And you've gone through these things and had these experiences to be able to be on a platform where you can share them. And that's, you know, Katie said it. You got like a fucking master's degree in public speaking just from like being in AA. And then, you know, holding space for others and being able to do that way. And then there's, like, the other side of it, right, where, like, these people can say, like, oh, I'm just a lone soldier, like, I don't need community, right? But it's, like, you might not have found your right community yet.
Right.
Like, there's people where you can go into a space and not feel welcome, or, like, you know, like, oh, I give up. I tried to find my tribe, and this, like, isn't it, you know? It's, like, you find your people.
Well, that's the victim mentality.
Yeah.
Because people stay in the victim, and they're like,
this is true.
There isn't a place for me. Like, and then you just stay in that victim loop, and then, like, you're right. If you're going to say there isn't a place for you, you're absolutely fucking right. There's not a place for you, because you're not willing to look. You're not willing to be uncomfortable. You're not willing to try new things.
Or even just grow. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you're not fitting into the, like, I'm not even saying this in a wrong way, but maybe you're not, like, coming into these places and feeling, like, welcomed or whole because you're not whole and you don't even love yourself enough to show up confidently in a space, you know?
And
Not even confidently, like, vulnerably. Like, it's not even really about confidence, because we all learn to, like, grow into our confidence, right? It's and to learn to love ourselves. It's really more about being willing to be vulnerable and real with the people that you're seeking,
yeah.
because
And it's your
true
perception.
colors. Yeah, true colors, baby.
It's your perception. If you walk in here and you start judging every single person that's in here because they're dressed different than you, or they're doing something different than you, and you walk in with that energy of judgy and like
Yeah.
you're not talking to anybody, you're not saying hi, you're not smiling, you're not trying to get to know people, you're going to walk in here and, you know, everybody that's in here is like talking and everybody knows each other and that's the vibe. But if you're not willing to partake in that and be uncomfortable, then you're going to stay stuck in that same loop. And that's the same thing with anywhere you go, any
Yeah.
community that you go try to go into. So what my goal is if we create this online community, one, it's like a baby step into understanding what's happening here, what we're doing here, you know, feeling more comfortable. But the beautiful thing about the app is, and what mine and Taylor's big goal with everything that we're doing is to do it on a global level.
Yep.
So in the app, we're going to have a section that's going to do the template of all the women's circles. And we're starting a men's circle here in the next few months. And so there'll be the templates of the men's circle. And if you are in the area, wherever area you're in,
I feel like we should, like, say that, like, we're not going to be leading this men's circle.
yeah.
As FYI.
Yeah, no, we're
Like,
not leaving.
we're going to start a Sacred Rebels men's circle, but we won't be partaking.
Yeah, no, we're not leading it. But I am, like, men are allowed in the sacred
Yes.
community because it's really just, I'm going to be going on there and I'm going to be, you know, daily coaching in the morning and at night. Like, I'll throw up like a journaling prompt or meditation. I'm going to be having sound baths. Each day is planned out.
Oh, I can't wait.
But I wanted, before I talk about all that, I want to say that what our goal is global healing. So just, Taylor told me that one of her sisters
Nope,
started
my cousin.
a cousin.
So my cousin Lindsay, she lives in South Carolina, and when she visited a few months back, she was so excited about what we were doing and loving the breath work. And she said that they didn't really have a lot of resources like that down there. So she was like, "Do you guys do charters? Like, would you start like a Sacred Rebels down here?" And I was like, "Girl, that's on you. Like, go ahead, do it. You got to start it. You got to do it. Call it Sacred Rebels, call it whatever you want. Like, that is so beautiful. Just do it." And she was like, "Well, what's the format? What would I do? What would I, you know?" And we were like, honestly, I was like, there is no format. We just wing it. That sounds so crazy, but like, we intuitively think about it like the week before and figure out what we're doing. And then that's just what happens. But it's all about community healing and vulnerability. So as long as you're creating a safe container for women to come and to really be themselves and to open and to share
Yeah.
about their life struggles or the shit that's going on in their lives or the, you know, the things that they're working through, that's really what it's about, is just creating that community and that safe container for women to just share vulnerably and honestly. So
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to make the sacred community all women either, because I feel like women do have a lot of like women only things.
Yep.
And we do have the women only, the women's circle. And there will be like women chats and things like that. But so, and with that, we are now creating the template. So if you're listening and you're in an area, also the app has a location, so you can put your location in it. So when you're on there and there's a bunch of other community members, you can see other sacred community members in your area.
cool.
Yeah, so you'll be like, oh my God, you're, 20 minutes from me. Let's link up and get coffee. Like, we're
Yep.
doing the same thing. Like, it's really, really about, yes, I am, the empowerer in there. I'm the one creating it, but we're really going to build it together. I really want people to step up and be leaders. I really want people, if they're, wanting to try, to lead meditations or do something,
Yep.
that this is a platform that they can feel comfortable being like, hey, I'm trying this new thing. Do you guys, would you guys want me to like give it a try and, see how we're doing, and stepping out of your comfort zone, but having a safe place to do that, having a safe community to lean on and be like, okay, I'm trying this weird thing and I really feel called to do it. So, but I'm really nervous to share it, and why not share it with the people that you feel safe and you're doing the same kind of healing work with?
who you know will never judge.
Right.
Like, they'll be there to support no matter what. So that's the beautiful thing about it. It's like the people that I feel like that's just my favorite part. I had never felt so comfortable with a group of women specifically and felt so seen than I do with the ones that we've built at the circle. Like, I can truly say that. Like, I come into the room and don't feel a bit of judgment, not 1 ounce of insecurity. I am like, I am who I am. I'm like, you know, you get me as I am. Like,
and
this
we
is it.
empower other women.
Yes.
It hasn't just been about me and Tay. There's other women that have run the circles, because that's what it's not about. Yes, everybody, we have a leader. I've had a million mentors. I've had so many teachers, sponsors, beautiful mentors in my life, people that I cherish so deeply. And those people have got me here. But the truth is that it was because I chose to show up. We have to have guides. We have to have, people, but we have to give ourselves the power. Like, we have to give ourselves the power back. Like, there is nobody that knows you better than you. And you are the one that makes the decision to do the work. So you're going to be the one, if you want the freedom that I have, if you want the level that I fucking don't give a shit about what one person fucking thinks about me, all the shit that I've made it through. Literally this year I have made it through a divorce, which was, pretty brutal. I literally left, a situation where I was completely financially stable for 10 years and, a stay-at-home mom for a while, and I just took the leap. I had to moved my business within a month, had to find a place for me and my 6 children to live, without too much help. And then moved my business. I, closed my business down at the other location in February, then reopened this one
and made it home
and made it home, my forever home. And took a breathwork certification and in the meantime of doing it all. I'm literally haven't seen my son since February, which I know it's all a beautiful lesson, and I've talked about it a million times, and I'm sad and devastated about all the things, but I'm able to see it. I'm able to see the lessons in it all. I'm able to see the lessons for Gavin. I'm able to see the lessons for every single human being involved, my children, all of it, and have peace, because I don't have a warped perception of the world. I have a full trust in the fucking universe. I have full trust that if the earth, that I am a creation of God, I am a spark of God, I am the same thing that made me, made the oceans, that made the moon, that controls the tides, that made the skies, that made the trees, that I breathe the air, and the ground that I get energy from. Like, that we are all connected. We are all one. We are all in this consciousness together. And there is not a single thing that happens in this world by mistake.
Nope.
And there becomes such freedom. And it has to do with really doing the shadow work. It has to really do with diving deep, figuring out how you perceive things, how you can perceive things differently, how you can be grateful for the shittiest person in your life and the shittiest situation, how you can see the miracles that manifested in your life from the worst of the worst situations.
Yeah.
Like, there's fucking magic in
magic.
And there's the most magic in the most pain.
I know. I was just gonna say, the darkest days bring the brightest. The darkest nights bring the brightest days.
Literally. Like, and there is not a more true statement than that.
I know.
And people just want to stay in the victim mentality. They just want to stay there.
I almost welcome struggle at this point, because I'm like, I just know that if I'm struggling right now, it's about to be a for real come up.
Yeah.
Like, a for real come up. So I'm just like, whatever. At this point, you embrace the ride. You embrace the shit. You take it on the chin, and you just fucking keep it moving, and you keep your head straight, and that's it. Like, you don't look back, and you don't sit in your shit, and you just keep it moving.
Yeah, we are the creators of our own chaos. And when you actually realize that you're the creator of every single thing that happens to you, good, bad, and different, you just stop labeling it, and you just start to realize, and listen, I'm not fucking perfect, and I still make mistakes, and I honor those things, and I really understand that you know, I just understand that there has to be deep levels of healing, and there has to be deep levels of healing for everyone involved.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not our responsibility, and I try to like make it my responsibility for other people. I'm like, you just need to fucking heal because you would have a
That's
different
what keeps
perception
me
of
sick,
this.
though. When I try to do that.
Yeah.
That's the shit that keeps me sick. When I'm out here trying to save the world and nobody wants saving. And I'm like, but why?
Thankfully, I learned that, I think, in sponsorship, because when I was a sponsor,
Yeah, see,
like
I was a terrible sponsor. I was like out here trying to save the world, and like
yeah,
I'd be
trying
the
to
one
control.
calling you, and I'd be the one being like, where the fuck are you? Like, where are you in your step work? Why aren't you writing? Like, what are you doing? What do you mean you're doing this? What do you mean, you know? Like, I was always trying to be like, please just learn from my mistakes. But now it's like, no, like, even with my kids, like, I'm going to allow my kids to make mistakes because there's like not one thing that I could say that would stop them anyways. Like, even though I've lived it, like, God fucking knows we've lived it and done it all, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not my job to keep them from making those mistakes. They have to make those mistakes on their own. My job is to keep them safe while they make mistakes. So
They're their own sovereign beings.
and just guide them in the direction that, you know, ultimately they want to go, which is forward. So
Their path was chosen before them, but
I
you know
know.
what I mean? You just like, it's like
I know.
that's another big, you know, lesson I've learned over this past year, is that, you know, in the situation that I'm dealing with Gavin, it's like, this is his lesson,
His
and this
path.
was planned out, and this is his lessons, and I'm here, and I love him unconditionally, and that'll
Yep.
never change. She's my firstborn, all those things, and it's
Yep.
just like, this is his lesson, and he needs to learn this at 12, and we made this soul contract, and no matter what, I'm, you know, I'll continue to love him unconditionally, and, you know, when he decides, and when, you know, when all the truths are revealed, you know, I'll just continue to love him unconditionally.
Like, just praying for the day.
Justice will be served.
Yes.
Justice will be served.
It will.
But yeah, so the app, so that's, I'm really excited about that. And those are the things, like, these are the things in my vulnerability. I mean, I come in here and do sound baths and I cry. I'm like, you know, you guys don't understand that I'm building this because I need this too. Yes, I've had years of education, and yes, I'm going to be doing these things and offering my teachings and offering the things that I've learned along the way.
Yep.
But I'm a part of this community. These are my people. I mean,
Yep.
God, Sunday, Saturday, was it Sunday or was it Saturday? It was
Literally,
Saturday. It was
our
9/9.
people.
It was so beautiful. The people that were
It was
here,
so beautiful.
and everyone's just supporting, and everyone's talking to everybody, and everybody's friends.
Everybody's family. Like, we don't
Yes.
take that shit lightly. Like, soul fam, we say it all the time. Like, soul family, like, that shit is so real. It's like the type of people where you see them and you're instantly like, oh my God, I've missed you. Hello. Like, it's just like sunshine.
Yeah.
Like, real life sunshine, soul family. Like, those are the people, right? Like, that's the tribe. That's the community everyone deserves. That's what we're trying to build with Sacred Rebels. That's what AIM's trying to do with the app. Like, build that soul family community.
Because it's missing, and
It's
once
missing.
there's power in numbers, right?
There's
there
power in
is-
connection.
And so everybody was here, and we were all just like laughing and sharing stories, and it was just like, it was literally, I felt so supported. I felt so seen. And that was like all I've ever wanted, like my whole life, you know, from like having sexual trauma as a child, not being seen, then going into addiction,
Yep.
being a stripper, like just wanting to be seen for
Yep.
who I actually was,
Yeah.
not knowing who I actually was, then unlearning all the fucking broken programming to actually see who I was. So to just see all the things and know all the struggles that I've been through, and I could be so fucking bitter, right? Like, so could you. Like, we could be so bitter at, like,
All
what's
the
happened
shit.
to us, and stay in victim role, and be working in some mediocre fucking job, going to work every day, living paycheck to paycheck, and just trying to, like, figure it out. And, like, I'm sorry, but that life does not seem like a good time.
No.
And I'm not saying, like, you could live a job and, you know, love your job and do all of those things, but if your job isn't bringing you joy, and if you're not finding the joy in life, then you need to unlock, you need to figure out what your dharma is, so you can start living in that joy, so you can start working for a paycheck because you know that you're living the life that you're supposed to be living, and the desires.
So you're just impacting the world at that point. Like, when you go to work and live a miserable life, like, that's all you give off. is miserable energy. And so like if you're doing what you love and you're living in your purpose, you're showing others that, and you're showing that love, you're showing that light. And so that reverberates out to however many people, like it trickles down. It's a ripple effect. So it's not even just like a personal mission, like it should be a collective mission at this point. Like this is the time for us to wake up, do the healing, find your purpose, live in your dharma. And so we can all do that, and so we can all heal together collectively and live our happiest, best lives.
Yeah, because this life doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be worried about fucking
No.
credit scores and fucking who, like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
bullshit.
And taxes, and which I get, like, it's all a part of it. But like once you start living in your purpose and living in that dharma and living and not allowing this world to dim your light, I say it all the time, right? And you're living in your light and you're living in your passion. None of that stuff matters. Like it starts to flow. Like things just get taken care of, and bills just like things. I know it just sounds crazy,
I
but
know
like
it does, but it's
fucking
true.
money just shows up, and you're like, oh God, how am I gonna do this month? And if you just stay in that light and stay in the positivity and don't get caught in those negative loops, and you know,
the scarcity mindset, all of it, like
Yeah.
just don't even allow yourself to go there. Don't allow your brain to go there. Like even it's simplest of things, right? Like how am I supposed to pay my rent this month? Don't even say that. Like I will pay my rent this month. Like even if it comes on the last day of the month and you're like getting by like the fucking, you know, the tiniest little bit, like you're able, as long as your mindset is there and you're putting in the work, right? Like this isn't just like, oh, say a prayer and just pray that it comes. Like this is action too. Like this is we're never just like, oh, just say this and it'll happen. No, it's like you have to take serious action as well.
Yeah.
So
And you know, gratitude's an action word, but also like at night, one of the things I read this book about the subconscious, the power of the subconscious mind. And one of my biggest suggestions, and something that's really changed for me over these past few months, is that at night, when with the last thing that you think about before you go to bed, and I think I said this on the podcast with Syra too, that energy, your energy is constantly going. We are Tauruses of energy. We are constantly bringing energy and bringing it out. And that when you go to bed thinking about, oh, worry, remorse, guilt, like all these things that everybody lays in bed at night and starts, you know, thinking about all the shit that they need to do or the things they didn't do, your energy is continuing cycling that energy. Like it's continuing and cycling those thoughts.
Yep.
So before you go to bed, think thoughts of abundance, think thoughts of wealth, think thoughts of growth, think thoughts of how you're going to live in your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, start thinking about what set your heart and soul on fire.
Yep.
And then start baby steps, right?
Yep.
It's not just going to happen overnight. This should not just happen overnight. You know, I was a bartender for years, and then I was a hairdresser, and then I went to cosmetology school. Like, I don't know what I was going to do. Then I was a treatment center worker, and then, you know, I thought it was going to be yoga. It's just like, you know, all of these things.
Same.
And I love yoga. I
I've done all the
absolutely love
things.
yoga. I practice yoga on a regular basis, but I actually don't really love teaching yoga anymore. I really love doing sound, and I really love breath work. So I really haven't been teaching yoga because it's not setting my soul on fire. So that's the other thing. Like sometimes it takes a little bit of while to figure it out, and it's okay for you to be like, oh yeah, I thought it was going to be this thing, but it's
okay
actually
to
this
change
thing.
it. Yeah.
Like
That's literally the season of life I'm living right now, and it's terrifying. And I keep going back and forth of like, okay, but do I still grow my makeup business because I'm so good at this thing and I love it so much, and I'm like actually, you know, my name is getting out there and spreading like wildfire. But I just like, again, it's like my heart's not in it, and it's not like feeding my my purpose as much as it used to.
It's okay to change your fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's okay to do something that, like, it's okay.
But then you have like the imposter syndrome come in, like, well, could I even teach breathwork? Am I that type of person? Could I really do that? But, you know, the more that I sit with it and the more that I see those reactions, it's like, okay, yes, this is my purpose. This is my passion. This is the shit that like will make me want to get out of bed in the morning and sprint here.
Yeah.
Legit.
And if a year down the road, it's not what you want to do and you want to do something else,
Yeah.
you're the only limiting belief.
Yeah.
You're the only one that's like, oh my God, what are people going to think if I change my mind again? Who the fuck cares what people think?
But also, when you're on this path of changing your mind and doing different things, you're meeting different people and you're opening yourself up for more opportunity because you're starting to network, you're starting to connect, you're starting to literally open up to receiving. And so when you're doing those things just kind of start falling into place and the universe is answering you without you even knowing the answer. Do you know what I mean? It's like all of these things lined up to this, but in my mind this isn't really what it looked like.
Yeah.
Like I had an idea, but it wasn't like this. And now that it's here, it's like, okay, this
the pieces
makes
usually
sense.
stack on top of each other.
Yeah,
It's usually an evolution of growth.
This makes sense, you know, like this is it. This is what all the cards were talking about. This is what my dreams were about. It just like will start to click and make sense. All the people that we met along the way, just little life moments that I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the rain.
I know, it's
I
so
love
good.
it.
So we'll talk back about the app. So I wanted to just say there are community guidelines, which are all on there. So what you'll do is you'll sign up for the 7-day free trial. Everybody will get a 7-day free trial. And in the 7-day free trial, you will have access. You'll get access on Friday. So if you sign up on Monday for the 7-day free trial, everybody will always get access on that Friday. So then you have the weekend. You'll have Saturday and Sunday to kind of navigate the app, figure it out. And then your 7-day free trial will actually start on Monday. So you really get 10 days of it. That's how we have it set up in the app process. So you'll start Monday and you'll get a full week. You'll be able to, play around Saturday and Sunday. Then Monday will come in. You'll get a full week from Monday to Sunday. And in that in there, you'll have the opportunity. So Monday we'll do motivational Monday. We're gonna talk. I have either an author or a spiritual teacher that I'll pick each week. And so the first week I'm doing Louise Hay's How to Heal Your Life. So I'll announce the book on Friday. Yeah, and so I'll do quotes from her every day. Every month will be chakra based. So our first month is root chakra. So most of the meditations and things and teaching Tuesdays. So I'll teach about the root chakra and then and so everything will just like kind of fall in line. And then Wellness Wednesdays, which will be some sort of, either fitness activity or, even wellness and like the importance of journaling, like, and creating an altar, creating a safe space for you to like go and like have a place in your house where it's dedicated to your healing, even if it's just like a little seat that you go to every time to like write your journaling, to have consistency in your action of surrender to your healing. I saw
this wicked cute TikTok of a girl who made her closet like her altar.
Yeah.
Like she put a little meditation cushion underneath all her clothes, like where her clothes hang, and her head was like in her clothes, but she just like would move her clothes.
Yeah.
And sit right there, and it was all cute with fairy lights, like.
And it just feels good when you have, it's
routine.
Like it's a routine and it's like an act of surrender. It's an act of like, okay, this is like sacred to me.
Yep.
This is a sacred space. This is how much I'm willing to, give to my healing.
Yeah.
Thursdays is Thankful Thursdays. So every other week it's going to switch where we're going to choose something that we're thankful for that's good in our life. And then, where the shadow work comes in and all week you can focus on that positive thing in your life. And then it'll be the next week we'll focus on something shitty that's happened in your life and where we can find the lesson and where we can find the gratitude in even the shittiest shit.
Yeah.
And those are the things where you might need help. You might need guidance. Yeah. And you might need to share and be like, oh,
finding the good and the bad. Yeah.
Right. Like this happened to me and I really can't like figure out, and then you'll have a community to lean on and you'll be able to share on the wall. And Fridays is Fellowship Friday. So it'll all be focused on how you're giving back to your community. If you're wanting to start a women's circle or a men's circle or whatever, I do a lot of nonprofit work. I do a lot of things in the community. So I'm a real big advocate. I think it's a huge piece that if
Yeah.
you're in a community that you need to either be, going through your closet, purging things out. Can you donate food to the soup kitchen? Can you donate some of your clothes? Where are you holding on to things? Purging out your house will be, another piece of Wellness Wednesday. Like, what are you holding
That's
on to?
energy exchange too,
Yeah,
though.
clean
Like,
on the inside, clean on the outside. Saturdays are soulful Saturdays, so we'll really just focus on getting outside more in nature, slowing down, doing practices to learn how to slow down and take care of your soul. And so I'll just like go on in the morning and do, I'll just pick some random, whether it's nature or whatever, depending on the time of the year. And then Sacred Sundays, I'll go on in the morning and I'll pull a card, I'll read a prayer, and it'll be simple. And I am going to try to get up early in the morning, before my kids get up and like do these lives, but I'm not holding myself accountable to being like, yeah, I'm going to be on every day at 6:00. Some days it might be 9:00. Some days, but I'll always pop on and, just say, hey, my kids are life. Like, this is life. So I don't want people to be dependent on me. Am I going to make sure that at least by noontime there will be some, one of those teachings on there so you have the opportunity to do that? Yes. And if you're a morning person, I'm going to have a morning routines. I'm going to have, 5-minute and 10-minute sound meditations that you can go and have access to, YouTube things that I find, it is going to be a daily coaching app from me where I am going to be doing daily teachings. That's really what you're paying for is me doing the daily stuff. And then we're just going to build. We're going to see what's going to happen where it's going to grow. And like I said, that could change. You know what I mean? Like, I could completely in 6 months be like, this isn't working the way I thought it was. And I'm going to fucking change it. If everybody else wants to make a change, we'll make a change because I'm not attached. That's where people get so caught up, and they get so caught up in their head and they're
Attached
like, I can't do that. Like, I can't do that. Yeah, I don't have any attachment. If fucking nobody signs up, which would never happen, I'm unattached. I don't give a shit. I'm not afraid to fail.
Yeah.
That's the thing about me, because I don't give a fuck what people think about me, and people can say whatever they want to say, and I'll put something out, and if I flop, I flop. I'll figure something else out, and I still have the studio that's not flopping. So I don't even want to put that energy out there because I know this is going to be amazing. I know it's going to be global healing. I know there's going to be Sacred Rebel communities popping up everywhere, and one day we're going to have festivals of thousands of people, and we're going to all come together, and we're going to do retreats, mommy and me retreats, and we're going to do all kinds of magic.
I know, we still need to book Alice's house.
Yeah.
Like ASAP.
Yeah, we're going to do our first Sacred Rebels retreat. It'll be a small, short one, but everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and it'll be at the same house that started this all. So it'll be super sentimental and sweet, and it'll be around, hopefully Valentine's Day like it was last year.
Yeah, the lunar new moon.
Yeah.
That's when this all started.
Yeah.
The Lunar New Year, which is crazy.
Lunar New Year.
So beautiful.
It was the most epic weekend, and this was all birthed in that one weekend in that house, you guys. If you get to experience Alice's house with us, I'm telling you, the energy there is just magic.
We're definitely jumping in the ocean.
Yeah, it's magic. I feel like that has to be part of it.
It has to be part of it. It's life-changing.
It has to be part of it.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's much more. I mean,
the app is going to be incredible.
The app is going to be incredible. You guys,
the aesthetic, it's such a vibe. I was in there today, and I was just like, oh, so cute. It's going to be so good.
So if you've signed up, I know this will come out on Wednesday, but if you sign up, just know that everybody's going to get access on that Friday. So even if you sign up, you'll get we created a whole nurture campaign. So you're actually getting emails. So anybody that did sign up, you'll be like, oh, well, this is what you're doing. These are the community guidelines. I have like a little welcome video and all that stuff. So I'm just so freaking excited to share and to do this and to meet all the people, because I mean, we could have people in Australia on there. We could have people in...
I know. How fucking cool would that be?
You know what I mean? Like, learn different things about different cultures. And
I know. So cool.
Like, global. This is like, we have the ability to create and connect with so many people and so many things. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there, and you just have to be willing and not afraid to fail, and really, really just understand that you don't have to give a fuck about what other people think, because
Yeah.
there's always going to be naysayers. There's
Yeah.
always going to be naysayers.
And
But
don't
I'm
ever
telling
be
you right
attached to an
now,
outcome.
yeah, I'm not attached to an outcome.
Don't
I
ever
know,
be attached to an outcome, and don't ever fear judgment of others. That's like the two things.
yeah, the amount of people that came by here and supported me. One of the participants made me a pie. He came in and
So kind.
he goes, "This is your dream, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is my dream." And he was like, "Well, I had to make you a pie for that." He literally dropped it off on the desk, and he's like,
So kind.
"I know it's gonna do great," and then just left. Just brought me a pie. I'm like, that's the most kindest gesture.
So nice.
Like, so good. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be so amazing. We're gonna do the link in the podcast reel, and
Yep.
then I have the link. I've been posting it on my stories every day. It's on the website. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about the price, because it is $111 a month, the app. And I just wanted to say this, because I know some people will be like, oh, $111, like that's kind of a lot of money. First off, it's $27 a week. You spend more than that at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts in a week.
Yep.
Like $27 a week to literally have a daily coach, a community, breath work on a regular basis, live breath work, sound baths, all this education. I'm going to have all my mentors come on Teaching Tuesdays. I'm going to have different things that you're going to learn, life skills, all kinds of things, meals that I prep, and, supplements that I use, and literally just so much education that, yes, maybe the original bite off of $111 a month sounds like a lot, but when you break it down, $27 a week is literally like nothing. Compared to the education that you're going to get. I have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on trainings.
That's like if you were going to do a breathwork class a week here.
Right, it's $22 to do a breathwork class if you're coming every, you know what I mean? So it's like, and we're going to do sacred community socials that if you're on the app, you can come for free, and we'll just like be able to meet in person once a month.
Yep.
So that's what you'll have access to. And then, like I said, the 7-day trial, if you sign up before your 7-day trial's over, you get locked in at the price of $88. And then also, as always, because you know me and who I am, that there is a sliding scale fee. So if, that is too much money, please email me. I do have an option. There will just be guidelines to where you have to be active in the community if you're getting this other price. This sliding scale fee, it'll be for a shorter time. We'll work. I'll absolutely work on you. I don't want money, just like the studio, to ever be a burden,
a factor,
or something that you don't have the ability to access this healing. So please, if $111 is really too much, please reach out to me. Please email me, direct message me. I do have a sliding scale option. And I'm, absolutely always available to, make people, have these things accessible.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Amen, sister. Healing for the masses.
Healing for the masses. You got to feel it to heal it, and I'm ready to help you feel it.
Yes,
and
so
stop
epic.
masking yourself, and stop having warped perceptions of this shit that happened to you, because everything is happening for you and not to you.
Mm-hmm.
The universe has your back always.
Yep, always.
So place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly.
Oh my God, I can't even breathe.
Expel all that still energy right out. Push. Inhale, lift up, rise up, fill up. And then let that shit fucking go.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Sorry, I was sniffly.
Thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to what we have to say. It means the world. As always, we want to end this episode by reminding you that we are not medical professionals and we are not giving any type of medical advice. We are simply sharing our experience and solutions.
We are here with the intentions of reminding you that you are never alone and that everyone's healing journey is unique to the individual. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms to stay updated. Stay well, Sacred Rebels. See you next time.